All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here. Apologies for the wait. The boys get very, very vocal when it's time for them to eat, so I was just kind of waiting for it to die down. But, Denim is the most vocal out of the two, so he likes to let everyone know every 5 seconds that it's time to eat. It's time to eat. It's time to eat. It's time to eat. And I didn't want that getting into the mic. But it's good to see everyone here. Matter of fact, let me show my face so that way we can get this shindig started because we got a busy day today. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my final 5 streams of me reading One Piece volumes. It's been a very long path to this moment where instead of it being like several 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 volumes that I had to go through, we are now only down to 5, including today's. It's good to see you, Kohagen. It's good to see you, Ogata. Good to see you, Ozzy, as well. And I'm wearing a very special shirt today, but I'm not going to show it until it's time, even though you may have caught a glimpse of it just for a little bit. Let's get started with today's volume. Let me know if you guys can hear me fine. The Story of One Piece, Volume 78. After 2 years of hard training, the Straw Hat Pirates are back together, first at the Sabaody Archipelago, and then through Fishman Island, to their next stage, the New World. The crew happens across Trafalgar Law on the island of Punk Hazard. At his suggestion, they form a new pirate alliance that seeks to take down one of the 4 emperors. The group infiltrates the kingdom of Dressrosa in an attempt to set up Doflamingo, but Law is abducted after falling into a trap. The rest of the crew meets a one-legged toy soldier who informs them of the nation's hidden darkness, and they decide to help the little Tontadas in their fight for freedom. As their companions hold off the Don Quixote family, Luffy and Law face off in a direct battle against Doflamingo. There, the past that ties Law, Corazon, and Doflamingo together is revealed. Law fights back against Doflamingo to fulfill Corazon's wishes, but his arm gets chopped off. Meanwhile, the forces of Luffy's army emerge triumphant one by one. Only a few foes remain. And, as Kohagen said, we have 10 chapters, but it feels like a bit of a thick 10 chapters as well. And we have chapter 776 all the way down to 785. Chapter 776, Hero of the Colosseum. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, the first son of the sea, Volume 21. The Sea Beast's Misunderstanding. So, what we have here is the sea beast that wrecked all the ships was because Wadatsumi apparently took the ruins that one of the sea beasts was in. So I guess he got his sea beast pals to go along and wreck all the ships because they thought that the humans stole it, but it was Wadatsumi who did it. So all this is getting explained to the sea beasts by Jinbei. Smile Factory Dressrosa. You ready, guys?
Ready! Ready!
This place has tortured you Tontadas long enough. Tear this despicable factory down to the ground!
Yeah! Thank you, Fraulein!
The rest is in your hands, Luffy. And then Frankie finally succumbs to the exhaustion of fighting Senor Pink. And then we cut to the Navy, who are, helping hold down and keep down animals that are wreaking havoc in Dressrosa right now. And we see the other citizens as well. Palace Plateau, and there's an explosion up top. Half Moon. Here comes more. I'm ready, goes Kiros and Robin, as Diamante brings his sword up above him. Glaive! And he sends a massive shockwave, like a massive slice, tearing through the flower field. 4th step, flower field. Kiros versus Diamante. And Kiros is seen dodging out of the way. Robin and Rebecca are dodging out of the way. What's wrong, Kiros? Just a minute ago, you were so spunky and full of rage. Did you really think I was just some genius matador rippling in the wind?
Don't assume you'll always be the greatest gladiator in the Colosseum's history. I have sheer undeniable talent. The current hero of the Colosseum is the Great Diamante. I don't care about titles, but I can be a bit elusive.
As Kyros tries to stab Diamante, but Diamante just basically turned into like a flag shape and he weaves around Kyros' sword. And Kyros is shown to be, breathing heavily.
Father!
Hey, I don't blame you. You've been running around the kingdom all day, then forced to protect your daughter as you fight on a rippling surface. And all on one leg. A normal man would have been immobilized ages ago. You do not need to patronize me for my single leg. I would not charge into battle if I was going to use that as an excuse. I gave that leg for the sake of my savior. It is a point of pride. I won't feel guilty about attacking your weak point. But I ain't such a poor sport that I'd just crush you while you're fatigued. So how about we play a game?
And Diamante starts pulling multiple strips of paper out from under his cloak that turn into like firework cannons, like small paper. It's like the classic firework cannons that you can use at home. Multiples of those start taking their shapes, and one shoots off.
What do you think this is?
And then something shoots up into the sky. Kyros is looking, and then it explodes high up. Robin is confused.
Confetti paper?
Indeed, but they only look papery because I use my power on whatever it is. Go on, guess what the confetti is? I'm about to remove my power. Ripple, release. It's actually spiked metal balls!
And all the confetti that's in the air resume their shape, and it's just a countless amount of spiked balls that are in the air above everybody.
Gaze upon this beauteous sight. It's like falling stardust.
And then Rebecca goes,
They're going to land over here too, Robin.
Looks like there's no escape. Protect Rebecca, Robiland.
You're in danger too, Captain.
I will be fine. That panic shows you're paying attention. Yes, my Stardust can massacre an entire regiment. It will be nearly impossible to survive.
And Diamante has an umbrella, but it's also a metal umbrella, so that it, protects him from this falling Stardust.
It's a good thing this is a field of sunflowers. I'm sorry to have to pick you.
As Robin chops off multiple stems of sunflowers.
Struggle and panic! Adios, suckers! Death and Jambra!
And all of the spike balls start to fall towards Robin and everybody else.
Mille fleur, flower umbrella.
And Robin uses all of the sunflowers that she chopped off to create this big bouquet of an umbrella above both herself and Rebecca to protect themselves. And we see that they just fall straight into the flowers, and they just flowers around them, but it does protect them though.
That was close. Oh, well played. Do not ignore me. An army regiment that falls to this trickery lacks discipline. Kyros! That's insane! He's knocking all the spike balls aside. Are you telling me he can walk through rain without getting wet?
As Kyros is just casually batting away every single one of the spike balls without it actually touching him.
Darn it!
And Diamante decides to be cheap, and he shoots Kyros in his only leg, the only leg he has left, causing Kyros to fall over.
What?
Duh. Look out below, Kyros!
And one of the spike balls hits Kyros directly in the face, and then he's just suddenly hit all over by this massacre of Death and Jambra.
What a klutz! Who falls at such a crucial moment?
He's laughing at the fact that he caused him to fall, and then he's chastising Kyros for falling, even though he caused it. These people are demented.
Darn you, Diamante! You'll pay for this! No, Rebecca. The projectiles are still falling.
As Robin is holding Rebecca from running out there while the death enjambre is still going.
Father! You won't get away with this, Diamante! You cheap coward!
That's right, Rebecca. Make me pay. Come and fight. Come and I'll finish you off just like your mother.
How long will it last? The umbrella's nearly broken.
As holes start to appear in the umbrella that Robin has made with these flowers.
Let me go, Robin. I have to get him.
This is my fight, Rebecca. Put down your sword.
As it shows Kyros is standing up, just allowing these spike balls to hit him all over. He's just standing up, tanking everything.
For 10 long years.
Come under the umbrella, Father. You'll die.
You upheld your mother's wish, didn't you?
But Mother said I shouldn't hurt others.
I'm only teaching you how to avoid being hurt.
She's won every battle by disqualification without ever harming a single opponent herself. The undefeated woman! How can you win without attacking your foe? Shed some blood, you coward!
That was a pathetic fight.
You're a disgrace to the Colosseum.
And these are all the memories of Rebecca when she never, hit, harmed, or killed anybody.
You fought in the Colosseum, and yet you did not harm others. Your hands are still beautiful and pristine.
Die, Rebecca!
Family of traitors.
Descendant of evil!
The soul of your mother, Scarlet, still resides in those hands.
Mother.
As Rebecca drops her sword with tears in her eyes.
There is no need for you to stain them now with the blood of this miscreant. With the blood of this miscreant, I will not allow you to swing that sword. Gyarados!
As Gyarados starts rushing Diamante.
What is your body made of? Solid steel? No, he must be insane. He's solid stupidity. My pain is proof of my humanity. You would not understand that.
As Soldier remembers Scarlet getting shot. But he was a toy at the time, so Scarlet didn't recognize him.
Whoever you are.
It's me, Gyarados. You would not understand the despair of being forgotten by your loved ones.
As he clashes with Diamante.
I cannot even feel the warmth leaving your dying body. The pain of not being able to feel anything that you touch. Compared to the reign of tragedy you have inflicted upon Dressrosa, this does not even count as pain.
As he's clashing with Diamante and he's putting Diamante on the defensive. Diamante keeps backpedaling from Gyarados. Do you know how strong you gotta be? You know how scary a man you have to be to make a person with 2 legs backpedal from a person who only has 1?
If I am solid anything, then I am this country's solid rage, here to vanquish you! Where is his power coming from? The glory of your prime was 2 decades ago. Don't overlook the true strength of my sword skill. Don't overlook the true strength of my sword skill!
And then Gyarados is standing there in front of Diamante.
Still not down yet, you monster. Looks like my steel reign is over too. If you really have a death wish, I can make it nice and quick, like I did with Scarlet!
My thing is, this Diamante dude is digging his own grave. Keep talking about how he killed Diamante's wife, Rebecca's mom, and he keeps using that as a sore point, not realizing that that's what's giving this man strength to fight him. Yeah, not everybody on Dofi's team is a smart one.
Hold her, Kyros. She's your daughter. The palace is burning!
Wretched pirates! What have you done to my king and country? Quiero. Ugh, Kyros. Hope your wounded leg is strong enough for you to dodge this. I will dodge nothing. I'm taking our peace back. If you're not going to dodge, you're nothing more than a simple-minded fool. Half Moon Trueno. Trueno.
As Kyros jumps towards Diamante.
Bastardo!
And he slices straight through Diamante's sword and Diamante as well in one fell swoop. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's the end of chapter 776. Onwards to chapter 777. But we got an SBS now. Odachi! I was cleaning up my room today and found a note that Kora left here years ago. Just looking at it made me start thinking about him. I'm sending it along because I want you to see it. And the note says, went to go start the SBS. Don't want to close your eyes, don't want to fall asleep. You defeated Dofi. I'm defeated. Dofi and I'm gonna miss everything. But the note says, went to go start the SBS. Oh, Kora! The SBS!
Wait! The SBS already started?
Question. When I chug a carbonated beverage, I get a tummy ache. What should I do? Sign, Dog Lover. Answer. I think you should not chug it. Question. I want to make Panda Man's parents, so I designed them for you. Please make this official. Sign, Kanahasa. And it's this person drew two images of Mommy Panda Man and Daddy Panda Man. Mother Panda Man has a bamboo sword, while Daddy Panda Man has Aerosmith's Aerosmith song. Yeah, I never listened to Aerosmith, so I didn't get the reference. That's on me. But Daddy Panda Man is all buff. And Oda responds, I'm very disturbed by the way that his mother's body is obviously male. Thanks for the letter. Also, rejected. Chapter 777, Zoro versus Pika. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea. Volume 22, a big mess of apologies, understandings, and reunions. And Jinbei is there with Waratsumi, while Waratsumi is there with the Sea Beasts as they all apologize to the townspeople for, wrecking all their ships because of the misunderstanding. The sea kitten that was lost is reunited with its mother, and Jinbei is all like, what the heck did I just go through? But we can mark off one more. Well, actually, you know what? Let me just finish reading. Let's just go through this because it pretty much speaks for it. This chapter speaks for itself. It brings me terrible grief to report that our search was fruitless, Your Majesty. The man named Diamante got there first. We found Lady Scarlet in town. Her body riddled with bullets. And King Riku, and this is a flashback in the past when they were actually looking for Scarlet and everybody. And they're all crying except for King Riku because they found Scarlet, but she was dead.
Oh yeah? That was your sister, wasn't it? She was trying to stock up on food at the market. If she just dealt with her hunger, she wouldn't have had to die, the fool.
So, Diamante shot her just for no other reason other than, because Dofi's orders and was like, well, if she just let herself go hungry, then she wouldn't have had to die, even though they were intending on killing her anyway. But Viola is there in the past, and she's shocked that Diamante is so callous about how he killed her sister. And this is Viola. Well, actually, yeah, this is no. I was wrong when I said that King Riku wasn't crying. He actually is crying as well. And then we see his present day face. And then we have the flashback with Viola, and then we see her present day face. And then we get Captain Tank.
Let go of me, Tank!
You mustn't, princess. Do not rush to harm yourself. We will remain in the palace to ensure your protection.
And we have the face of present day Tank. Then we have the scene where Diamante has been flat out defeated by Kyros. And he falls on this one solitary post that's sticking up out of the ground. And he's just completely knocked out. Completely knocked out, blood shooting from the back of his head and from his mouth as well. So yeah, that's one of the supreme officers down. The only ones left is Treble and Pika. And Robin is looking. Robin is looking at Rebecca and she smiles. And then Kyros gives Robin a nod. Is all like,
"You have my thanks, Robbieland."
And Robin nods as Rebecca runs over to her father. But it shows Robin kind of sweating a little bit as she falls to the ground. And we see that there are multiple open spots inside of the Mirefleur flower umbrella. And we see that there's blood all around Robin. And spike balls all around her. As it shows that some of the spike balls end up hitting Robin in the back. But the fact that she kept quiet the entire time it was happening in order to make sure that Rebecca was safe and she didn't worry about her, she kept quiet. So Robin's a bit of a tank too. The fact that you can, not only was Kyros able to withstand that and not let it bother him, but Robin was able to as well.
Father, we need to patch you up. Huh?
As they both look at the posts. And the post that they're looking at in the middle of this sunflower field brings Rebecca happiness.
"I will always be at your side."
Because apparently I think this is the place where they buried Scarlet. I think this is the place where they buried Scarlet.
They
Beat Diamante!
They beat Diamante?
Is this true, Lady Viola?
Yes, Brother Kyros won!
And Rebecca?
And Rebecca is fine. Nico Robin protected her from harm.
One of the family's supreme officers? The hero of the Colosseum? That's nonsense! Kyros was the original undefeated champion hero of the Colosseum. The Don Quixote family, who we thought were invincible, are falling one after the other!
Kyros. Commander Kyros!
Senor Pink at the factory and the other officers were defeated left and right by warriors aligned with Straw Hat Luffy. There are only 4 major powers of the Don Quixote family remaining. Bellamy the hyena, the 2 supreme officers Picard and Treble, and the current king and warlord of the Sea Doflamingo. Just 4 more!
I never thought they'd get this far.
And to think we once hoped to be saved by capturing these heroes fighting for us. Huh?
And Usopp looks over.
Hey!
Hey, old King Riku, where are you going?
My life is no longer under threat. I will go into town. There is much yet to be done. Oh, I will accompany you. I refuse to seek the help of the government or navy.
Let's go too! We gotta tell the town that there's still hope! They're all in despair. No one else thinks there's any escape from this game. Huh? What about that naval admiral?
He descended into town many a minute ago. Why? Gather up all the townsfolk in one place, so as we can keep them safe.
Yes, sir! And Fujitora is just looking up. Well, I say looking up, but, he can't actually see. He's facing the direction of up. New Palace Plateau. And we see more Charlestone just popping up all over the place.
Father, what's that shaking?
Flower Hill, 4th step. And Charlestones just pop up all over the flower field.
Ah!
Rebecca!
But I thought Zoro stopped him,
goes Robin.
It's Pika!
Diamante, you're a miserable wreck!
Ugh. But of course, I didn't come here just for a one-on-one fight. As long as there's an enemy standing, the battle is not over.
You can't, Father. You can barely stand.
Then let me ask you this. What is King Riku to you? He is the reason you are despised, Rebecca!
That's nonsense. You framed him.
He is my father-in-law and my savior. He gave me a chance when I was a ruffian without a future. In all the world, the Rico dynasty is the only royal line that understands the true meaning of peace. The entire country wishes for your kind to be expelled so that he can sit upon the throne again.
Very well, then.
And Pika disappears into the ground.
What? He disappeared.
Whoa, what the... whoa, what the heck is that? What the heck was that?
Now he's down on the third step.
Second step. Dang, I'm supposed to be his opponent. Does he even want to fight? I can't take him out when he's hiding in the earth. You better be ready next time you're within my range. And it just shows Pika causing Charles Stones to appear all over the plateau, making it harder and harder for people to actually climb it.
Please, Sir Pika, no!
What? He's attacking the injured! As Pika is using Charles Stone to attack all the gladiators who defeated some other officers, including Harudin, Harudin's airborne.
Stone Mill!
And we see Sai get crushed between two slabs of stone by Pika.
Sai!
No, wait, that's Don Chinchao.
Sai!
Charleston!
And more Charles Stone erupts out of the area, and it hits Ideo, it hits Baby 5, it hits Don Chinchao. Oh, wait. I skipped over a whole section. I skipped over a whole section. Let me correct this. Harudin gets hit.
Please, Sir Pika, no!
What? He's attacking the injured.
You have betrayed us, Baby 5!
And Pika tries to crush Baby 5. Watch out! And Sai shoves Baby 5 out of the way. And he gets crushed between Pika's
Stone Mill!
And it looks like Sai tried to use hockey in order to protect himself because his arm inside the stone mill is, bulked up a little bit, but also shining black, which is a trademark of people using armament.
Sai!
Charleston!
And everyone gets launched, like I said before, everyone gets launched into the air, including Baby 5, Don Chinchao, Ideo.
Knock it off already! Quit going after the weakened targets!
Say, Roranoa Zoro! Roranoa Zoro! Riddle me this! Fine Stone!
One sword style. Demon horse!
And with one swipe, Pika tried to open his mouth in order to try and eat Zoro, but Zoro uses one swift sword strike, and he splits Pika's face right down the middle.
Do you know who's on the former royal plateau?
And then Zoro proceeds to slash the rest of Pika's face.
It's the king, right?
The former king, as well as other important royal figures of the past, the samurai and God Usopp. It seems the people of this country want Riku returned to power.
So what?
It's all an eyesore. Dofi is the only king here.
And then there's silence. And Zoro quickly looks around as the body of Pika, the giant body of Pika that he created, it starts to move again.
This kingdom belongs to Don Quixote!
And Pika not only gets back into this massive body, but he also fully reforms it so that it has both of its arms again. Because remember, it got destroyed by Don Chinchao and King Elizabello.
Whoa, don't tell me. Are you going after the king?
It's on the move! Run for it! Run for your lives!
And that's why you pushed me back into a corner, so I couldn't chase you. Dang, I fell right into his trap. This ain't good. One solid punch from him could smash that entire royal plateau to rubble.
Usopp and the king will be crushed and killed instantly.
Usopp and the king will be crushed and killed instantly. There's gotta be a way.
Pika! Is he heading for the Royal Plateau?
Plan 1. Shoot some slashes. Nah, it's too far to be effective. That won't knock him out. Plan 2. Jump onto his back. Nah, I can't reach. I just fall down into the town. Plan 3. Yell really loud so they can be aware of the danger. Nah, they can't hear me at this distance. Plan 4. Use a transponder snail to tell them to escape. Nah, I don't have a snail on me.
And Pika reforms as he puts his fists together as Pika's preparing to kill everyone on the Royal Plateau. And this causes Usopp, Kanjuro, and Kinemon to just start screaming out as Pika looms looms in the background like a giant kaiju. And that's when Zoro gets an idea.
Plan 5. Fly through the air and cut him down.
Help!
Yeah, let's go with that one.
As Zoro puts on his bandana and puts his sword in his mouth. And that's the end of chapter 777. We got another SBS and we can move on to chapter 778. Question. Here's a question for you, Orachi. Why is it that so many characters in One Piece have mothers who are unknown or deceased? Sign Koniro. Answer. I see. Well, the answer is simple. The antonym of adventure is mother. Please do not write this on a test. Question. The Gimlet who appears in chapter 755 has to be named after the Gimlet cocktail, right? Are you a fan of Ramon Chandler, Oda-sensei? Or do you just like alcoholic beverages? Laughs. Sign, Law's second assistant. Answer. Yes, that's where I got the name. This is actually a tricky one to explain in full. It's a bit of wordplay on a famous line about gimlets in Chandler's classic hard-boiled novel, The Long Goodbye. So I figured if I was going to do a hard-boiled bit, I needed to get that name in there. You should look it up if you're curious. Gimlet's mother, Rusian, also came from a cocktail. Also, while I am from the alcohol-producing region of Kyushu, I draw a story about pirates, and I love hard-boiled fiction. I cannot handle my liquor. Question. I noticed that Robin's chest has grown very large. Later on, I noticed that Nami's chest is large too. Why are their chests so large? Is that what you like, Oda? Do not argue with this man on this. Do not argue. Why is their chest so huge? Is this what you like, Mr. Oda? This question is from two 10-year-olds. Saku-chan and Yuzu. Answer. I'll say it 1,000,000 times. I'm drawing the dreams of boys everywhere. People of the world, grow big boobs. And you know what? I can respect him from sticking to his guns like this. Chapter 778, Tactics number 5. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 23. Oh yeah, we found this in the ruins. And what the townspeople that Jinbei was talking to before he left found was a big old poneglyph.
Pika, is he after King Riku?
Grandfather!
This is bad news. We can't let him go there, but there's no way for us to stop him.
Yeah, Sir Pika!
Only the feminine part of the world, of course. Yes, only the feminine part of the world.
Yeah, Sir Pika!
Get him!
Don't do it, you stone monster! Mr. Sniper King's over here!
And this is Bartolomeo screaming.
He's going after King Riku.
And this is Baby 5 to Sai.
Don't mean nothing to us, but either way, I don't get it. I see. The pirate hunter is right. It's a good thing I saved my king punch. I can save you now, Riku, my friend.
Wait a sec, King, whoever you are. I told you just destroying him won't work.
Whoever you are, I am Elizabello, King of Prudence.
If you don't beat his main body, he'll just regenerate again.
Then what shall I do?
Wait 2 minutes.
Huh?
Hey, Commandant. If you mean Commodore, that is I.
I saw you throwing people like cannonballs earlier.
Ugh.
And then Pika's directly in front of the plateau.
King Riku! You there?
Fire!
Fire!
And the Navy tries to fire at Pika. but it doesn't do anything as Pika glares at the townspeople and the Navy.
Ugh.
No! Look! I'm right here! Don't cause any more unnecessary destruction!
Stop, Pika!
Stop! Pika!
As Pika slams into the ground. And he's not just like a upper torso, he's a full body this time.
Flee, everyone! Get down from the blood!
Free everyone! Get down from the plateau! Here I am, Pika! Right here! Hurry, your majesty! Tank, Viola, take everyone else down below!
Father!
He's after me. Just go! No, your majesty, you must come with us!
Pirate Hunter Orlumbus, what are you up to?
You're certain you want to do this? This technique is not designed for the safety of the person being thrown!
Stop wasting time and do it. He's only going after those who aren't able to fight back.
Commodore!
As Orlumbus has Zoro in that same Commodore bowling grip, and he's preparing to throw Zoro.
King Riku! Ah! You are not a king! You are not even fit to be king! Ah! His bomb's the size of a town! A town's falling on us!
And this is Usopp freaking out. And I got another security tab in this volume. Give me a sec to remove it. Yeah, it's a good thing I did because it was covering a speech bubble. How many of these have I removed during this entire series?
Commodore! Killer Bowling!
And with a massive shout and a massive killer bowling throw, he sends Zoro flying at high speeds from the palace plateau straight towards Pika's direction. And then Zoro starts imbuing his sword with haki.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 of those make a Chiliad world. Set that to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut!
As Zoro is also imbuing haki into the sword in his mouth as well as he's flying at high speeds through the air.
3 sword style. Secret art!
So you think the people love you again after their 10-year mistake was corrected? Nonsense! Have you forgotten the fact that your pacifism failed to protect your kingdom from its fate? A country is bound together by military might. One who cannot crush his foes is not fit to be a king!
You are correct. I was helpless to protect my kingdom. I will never sit atop the throne again.
King Riku!
But at least I did what I must to remain human. If murder is the only means for me to live, then I choose death. There is no future for a nation of slaughter.
Your Majesty! You're the only king for us!
Pika-la-la-la! This is why saints never leave their mark on history! Because they all die! Just like you!
And Usopp is screaming,
Ah!
But before that happens, we get
The billionfold world! Try Chiliocosm!
and Zoro cuts straight through Pika in an instant. Just slices through Pika's enormous mountainous kaiju-sized body in one go. One of the most beautiful panels ever. And the shockwave can be seen from a far-off distance. And Bartolomeo is losing his mind. As Pika is still moving, so Zoro, looking at him, goes,
He escaped into the top half.
And with one massive slash, he slices the upper torso of Pico's body straight down the middle, creating smaller and smaller pieces for Pika to hide in. Shocking everybody and everyone is shocked at what Zoro just did. Viola, Tank, and King Riku. Usopp is screaming because he's been saved. Zoro!
Moving stone. Dead stone. The real body always stays in one of the remaining pieces. It never gets split.
And then we see the rubble starting to fall towards the ground, but it's taking its time. It's high up in the air. And Zoro keeps slicing more and more pieces of the Pika statue down over and over and over again.
In the air, he can't escape into the ground. Come on out, Pika!
He's trapped me! Do you really think you won?
And then Pika comes out of a piece of stone, and he launches towards Zoro, and he's basically imbued his entire body with Haki. His body is jet black with Haki right now.
Do you really think that by cutting stone, you can defeat me? I am invincible when infused with Haki! Once I slam you to the ground, you're finished!
That's assuming your Haki's greater than mine. 9 mountains, 8 seas, nothing I cannot cut. 3,000 worlds!
And in an instant, Zoro, while they're both launching at each other, Zoro is the victor in the whose Haki is stronger battle, as he cuts straight through Pika and even destroys his helmet.
Quit making trouble for those on the straight and narrow.
Zoro! Ah! The remains are falling down on us! We're gonna die!
And Pika falls to the ground, towards the ground unconscious.
Save me, Zoro!
And then we see an arm bulk up with a boxing glove on the end.
King Punch!
And a massive shockwave shoots over the royal plateau as it sends the debris that was once going to fall on it over to the other side. And everyone is saved. And Usopp is, he can't take it. His nerves can't take it.
Ah, that cocky little punk! You think my King Punch is only fit to be a glorified stone sweeper? I'll get you for this!
Solid execution.
And that's the end of chapter 778. Onwards to 779, his final battle. And we get a flashback of someone talking to Zoro while Zoro's hanging onto the plateau looking at the cut stone body of Pika. Have you ever broken a blade?
No. No nicks or scratches. A few times. You did it to me, even.
If you had infused them with Haki, those swords would not be broken. And this is Mihawk teaching Zoro, telling Zoro about Haki, infusing his weapons with Haki. You must treat every neck as a mark of shame. Every weapon can be turned into a black blade like mine. No liquor until you have mastered this feat. What? I wonder how long it took Zoro to master it, because out of everything Zoro looks for when it comes to food, he's always looking for booze. He's always happy to be drinking some drink. So I wonder how long it took him for him to fully master infusing his weapons with Haki. I wonder how long. No liquor until you have mastered this feat. What? And this is Zoro climbing up the plateau, laughing to himself, seeing the fruits of his labor during his 2-year training with Mihawk. Then we have Fujitora.
Do we have any injured on our hands?
Behind the former royal plateau. Thanks to your help, he showed the pieces just floated away and no one was harmed. It's a good thing. Oh wait,
It's a good thing, as we're keeping the evacuees right in the town center.
So Fujitora lent a hand as well. So the debris that flew behind the royal plateau because of King Elizabella's king punch was caught by Fujitora and placed in a far-off location so it wouldn't harm anyone even behind the royal plateau. See, this is the reason why Fujitora is a real one. He saw the situation and he solved it. Port Town Akakia.
Did you see that? The giant stone statue was split in two!
Does that mean one of the supreme officers got beat? Current place, plateau.
Sir Pika's down!
That much power and he chose not to enter the tournament? Such humility he must possess. And Garp's grandson has him as a henchman?
And Bartolomeo is foaming at the mouth after seeing what Zoro just did.
Well, I guess it's all right, since we saved King Rico in the end.
And Orlumbus is laughing right behind Elizabello. Then there's an explosion at the Smile Factory. Huh? The factory! The factory that came up from underground just exploded. What's happening in there? Inside the Smile Factory.
Heave! Ho! Ready? Throw!
And all the Tontatas, using all their combined strength, they take a giant vat of SAD and they throw it into the midst of the Smile Factory.
Blow it all up! Destroy the factory that tormented us! We'll never be tweaked into slavery again!
Hey, Pika's down, and the factory's blowing up, Dolphy! But we can still bring the defeated back and restore the factory! Take meager solace in the fact that we still have Mancherry! They don't know. They don't know. Oh, the poor saps. The poor saps, they have no idea what just went down earlier in the last volume from Saturday. They have no idea. Fourth step, Flower Field.
Lady Rebecca! Rebelland, are you alright?
And it's Leo.
Oh, Captain! Is that you, Captain?
Yes, so you were able to save the princess, Leo.
You were so dashing and heroic, just like the statue!
It's the other way around.
Oh, you're so terribly hurt. I will heal you at once.
And Mancherry wants to heal Kyros, but Kyros goes,
No, hear me out. You must be Princess Mancherry. I have heard about your powers, but there must be a limit to their use. Do not use them on me.
But you're bleeding all over.
I am fine and still conscious. More importantly, you are safe. It must have been a terrible time. If you can use your powers to help, there are countless people in this land who need them.
Oh, huh? Is this really Dressrosa? Leo explained the situation to me, but I didn't think it was this bad.
At least we have succeeded in destroying the factory. The battle is nearing its climax. Either this land will be returned to King Riku, or it will fall back into tragedy and despair. As long as he is around, there can be no respite. Our hope currently rests in the hands of a pirate crew.
Luffy Land! Lowland!
Those two are shining hope.
Luffy, Traffy.
Lucy! Pirates?
Up there, on the top of the palace.
Outer Tower interior, below the palace.
I just got inside the outer tower.
I just got inside of the outer tower. It looks a bit ugly in here. Can you make it, Sabo? Where are you?
And this is Koala.
I'm freeing some of the straggling prisoners of the Colosseum. There's too much distance to reach you. Since when were you incapable of handling things on your own?
I wouldn't be calling if this was within my power. Luffy could be in serious trouble.
I'm on my way.
Good grief!
Former Royal Plateau.
Zoro, give me your hand!
I'm fine. I didn't get hit.
Ugh. Zoro! Thank you! I thought we were goners!
Brilliant work, Sir Zoro.
Thanks, pirate! I couldn't believe my eyes when you cut that giant statue with just a sword!
Wait, all of you!
The only time we can breathe a sigh of relief is when this cage disappears for good. The fact that it's still up is proof that the one man we need to beat is still standing.
But, according to Viola, the number of major enemy powers is down to 3 after that victory. No, now it's 2. Another one just fell.
That's another battle finish!
Palace first floor. And we cut to the area where Luffy was fighting Bellamy. And Bellamy is laying next to Luffy with an imprint of his fists on his face. Just like in Jaya.
Knock it off, Bellamy!
As we get flashback events of how this came to be.
Your body's falling apart! You're gonna kill yourself doing that!
Even if I die, as long as I take you down with me, at least that might ensure that Doflamingo remembers me. There's no worth in risking your life for his sake. That's for me to decide.
As Bellamy is still using his spring hopper with high speed, and he decks Luffy in the face with a hockeyed up punch. And he floors Luffy in the process. And then Bellamy comes up and he springs directly onto Luffy's midsection and hits him directly in the stomach.
Doflamingo said that he'd set you free.
Wait, Doflamingo said he'd set you free, but you're staying here and hoping to die fighting me. Don't you think he knew this would happen?
Yeah, I bet. But so what? He has my complete and total respect.
I don't think you should be respecting anybody who apparently wanted you dead the moment you try to get back into the fold. That doesn't make you loyal. That makes you a sap.
He has my complete and total respect. If dying is what it takes to win his approval, then I'll gladly do it.
But it won't matter if you're dead. You won't get to enjoy the approval. Let's continue.
You liar! You have no other choice! You're a man!
Exactly! So you should know to shut up and fight me!
But you're wasting your life!
No, it is what I want! To have the end be at the hands of the only other man I ever respected.
See, I can understand that. I can understand you respecting Luffy, but Doflamingo not so much.
If you're not gonna take my fight seriously, then I'll keep going until I kill you! Take your stance, you coward, assuming you know how to throw a punch!
Bellamy suffers from Stockholm Syndrome. No matter how bad he's treated, he's loyal to a fault. Yeah, you see that in abusive relationships between men and women, too. Sad.
Thank you for calling me friend. For calling me a friend. Now die! So long, Straw Hat!
As Luffy puts up that same hand. Now, mind you, I'm putting up my right hand, but he puts up his left hand. But this time, he imbues it with haki. As Bellamy goes careening towards Luffy, and Luffy defeats him the exact same way he did 2 years ago.
Thank you.
And Luffy is looking up with the most angry of eyes.
I understand that I chose the wrong man to idolize, and how pitiful that makes me. If I'm gonna be an idiot, I've gotta see that choice through to its end.
Doflamingo!
I hear a wild beast howling. He better get up here soon, or he'll be so surprised. Oh, he'll be so surprised, Law, once he sees your dead body.
And that is the end of chapter 779. Onwards to chapter 780. But first, an SPS. Question. Hello, how are you? I am fine. I have a question about my beloved One Piece. I can't decide between flower, print, or plain. I mean, flowers are nice, but I'm wondering if going with plain will make me look more like a grown-up lady. What do you think is better, Mr. Oda? Signed, the invincible Haru Haru. Good question. In my case, I prefer to go out on trips in a nice frilly one piece with a flower design. Seems like I often wind up at the police station answering questions for some nice policeman. But other than that, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I just love a good one-piece dress. You do you, Oda. Question. Here's a question, Odachi. In chapter 762 of volume 76, when Law stabs Kora, I spotted Crocodile's face on his copy of the newspaper. What kind of article was it? Signed, Yamamoto / Sugiyama / Hori. Answer. Nice job spotting that. Indeed, it is Crocodile. It happened 16 years ago when Law was 10 and Doflamingo was 25. Crocodile was 30 at this time. When he was younger, he blew up quick, just like Luffy, but he joined the Seven Warlords fairly early on in his early 20s. After that, he challenged Whitebeard and lost. While he stayed quiet after that, his ambitions were turning on Alabasta instead, and this is when he started hunting pirates as a warlord. So the article in the paper is actually a story about his heroic exploits saving the country. Chapter 780, The Heart Curse. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea. Volume 29, sank the ruins down next to the port. So now the sea beasts have a place to live again, and it's right next to the home of the people that they kind of ransacked because of the earlier misunderstanding. Nice. If this is a good way for them to be a deterrent against anyone trying to invade the place, it's a good trade-off.
Oh, he'll be so surprised, Law, once he sees your dead body.
Sticky! The palace several minutes ago. Sticky Launcher! He's still alive! Hey, Law! Don't know when to give up, do you? Eh? And Law is laying there, across from Doflamingo in trouble, arm still sliced off and bleeding, still holding his sword.
Go on, Law. Be at ease. You couldn't match up to me alone, so why do you challenge the both of us? Straw Hat won't find it easy to reach us. If he had the mettle to kill a so-called friend, he might have been able to save you. Alas, you poor sap. Born in the hell of the White Town, with a future of pure darkness hanging over your head. Then you met Corazon and managed to draw out your life a bit longer. But now you're nothing more than his vengeful ghost, living on sheer hatred for me and the promise of revenge.
Sam McDonald, can't believe you're on Dressrosa? Yeah, I am. 5 more volumes and then I'm done reading all of One Piece up to when I first started doing reactions to it. So yeah, I've been doing this. I started this whole series back in May. For the past 3 months, I've been doing this. Well, it'll be 3 months tomorrow, but pretty much for the past 3 months, I've been reading One Piece every day, except for Sundays and that one Saturday, I want to say 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm all the way here in Dressrosa, and I'm loving every second of it.
Born in the hell of the White Town, with a future of pure darkness hanging over your head. Then you met Corazon and managed to draw out your life a bit longer. But now you're nothing more than his vengeful ghost, living on sheer hatred for me and the promise of revenge. What a meaningless 13 years you spent. You have my sympathy.
As Doflamingo kneels down in front of Law and points his gun directly at him.
Within moments you will be dead beyond all doubt. A miserable dog's death, devoid of any hope or salvation. So if you're going to die, why not make use of your final moments? Use the Op Fruit's ultimate power on me. Perform the immortality operation on me before you die. And in exchange, I will grant whatever you desire.
And Law looks at him, smiling.
Anything? If you're being honest, that's a tough deal to pass up. It benefits the both of us. All right, I'm in.
He knows what's good for him. And now Dofi gets eternal life?
I want you to bring Korra back to life right now. Then go kiss the butt of every last person in this country.
And this causes Doflamingo to lose that smile he had before.
You're the one who doesn't see what's going on, Doflamingo. The Straw Hat crew has performed countless miracles on their way here. You can't stop them, and you can't get Caesar back.
And then he proceeds to flip off Doflamingo.
Your future is already
And then when that happens, Doflamingo pulls the trigger on Law. And then Law rolls on his back, and Doflamingo notices.
That symbol on your back, Corazon.
And Law's just coughing up blood.
What are you trying to say with that? And you named your crew the Heart Pirates? What are you insinuating? You won't even sit on the Heart Throne.
And Doflamingo just keeps unloading his entire pistol into Law over and over and over again.
So why do you wear the heart, Law? Enough of your meddling. Law, Corazon, your curse ends here!
Former Royal Plateau, back in the present. And we have Captain Tank.
Wait, Your Majesty, I will join you.
So will we!
And King Riku is seeing all the citizens and everyone else follow him.
Descend into town! We can limit the number of casualties further!
And then we have Viola.
It's true that the worst of the family are down to just 2 now. That's Treble and Doflamingo. But we've lost a lot of strength too.
And then we see Bellamy, who's been bodied by Luffy, and Luffy, who's angry, and he bursts right through the floor directly in front of Treble and Doflamingo again.
Doflamingo!
Took you long enough, Straw Hat. So is Bellamy finally free, now that I've released him?
Don't play dumb! You knew what would happen!
And then Luffy starts blowing air into his arm to use Gear 3rd.
You knew he wouldn't run!
Spiderweb.
As Luffy tries to use, Elephant Gun on him. But, Doflamingo catches it with Spiderweb.
So he didn't run, you say?
But Luffy shrinks back down and grabs onto one of the strings in order to zip through it and to hit Doflamingo.
Come!
And both of his arms are imbued with Haki.
Gatling!
And Doflamingo zips away.
Huh?
And then this big, massive object comes up and swirls around Luffy. And Doflamingo is swinging both of his hands together.
Break White!
Whoa! As Luffy dodges out of the way. And Luffy hits the ground, but he notices that his sandals are covered in blood.
Huh?
What? Hey! Traffy! What's all this blood from? What happened to your arm? Hey! Hang in there! Traffy!
He's dead. Can't you tell just by looking at him?
You're lying!
He really seemed to trust you.
Watch out! Get back!
What do you mean?
Just look. See it moving? Bit by bit? Is the wall of strings actually shrinking? What?
I hear you're quite the miracle worker, Straw Hat. You didn't seem all that strong based on our fight, and now you've got to fight the 2 of us. Let's wrap up this little game.
How dare you!
Listen closely, Straw Hat.
And then we get someone saying that to Luffy. And that's the end of chapter 780. We got an SBS and we can move on to 781. The moment's almost here. The moment is almost here. Question: what are those spike-like things on Pika's shoulders? Sign number 73. If you place a growing watermelon in a square container, it will eventually fill the space and result in a square watermelon. Pika wore shoulder protectors in that shape all throughout his growth spurt, so his shoulders just grew that way. Weird. Question, Oda-sensei, Buggy could pass right through the birdcage, couldn't he? Sign, Pick Me Man. Answer, true, that's a good point. Buggy's entire crew could be stuck in there and he'd split and take off on his own. I like this drawing. So the only one who's immune, the only one who could survive the birdcage of Doflamingo was Buggy. Ain't that crazy? I forgot to put my phone on silent. Hopefully no one tries to call me. Question, I want Luffy and Doflamingo to fight and I want Luffy to win. Signed, Taichi in Iwate. Answer, I agree. Let's root him on together. Question, show me a simple way to draw Zoro. And sign, Kanahasa. And then Oda just has the very simple way to draw Zoro. First is a patch of grass, 2 mounds in a wide sea, a drop of soy sauce on a dumpling, and then make a cross and eat. 3 swords for 3-sword style, spikes and squiggles on each side, and you got little lost Zoro. Also, he grew hair. Chapter 781, Desire. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 25. New fishing boats to make up for the busted ones. And the new fishing boats are on the backs of all the sea beasts. So yeah, we got some sea beasts here that are helping out townspeople, and they happen to be the very same ones that used to work for Hody Jones and his crew.
Look! They are moving!
The wall of strings is closing in! And it shows the strings moving, and it slices completely through a building without any resistance.
Run for it! The edges of town aren't safe anymore!
Head for the center!
Same thing in the west. This is Carta in the east. It seems the birdcage is contracting. Royal Palace. Everyone will die, sooner or later. Oh, pardon me. I didn't let you know that the terms of the game have changed.
The game? Are you still going on about that?
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. The birdcage surrounding the city is slowly but surely closing in, folding itself up like an umbrella. As it closes, it will eventually slice through everything in this country. In, let's say, 1 hour.
We need to rescue those at the edge of the country!
Yes, sir! It's the weakest who were evacuated
away from the center. Hurry and get them!
As we see children and people who are paraplegic trying to get away from the birdcage closing in. Imagine all the people who ran to the outskirts of town now having to go right back to the center because they thought that the fighting was going to take place all in the midst of it. Now, the worst is on the outer edges of the town, and they got to make their way to the even worse center.
Hey!
Someone come quick! At least untie my legs! Hurry up, I don't want to die!
And these are some pirates who were tied up.
So Traffy's down, and the birdcage is shrinking? What's gonna happen? What can we do? Is the cage gonna come for us here?
And Usopp is, being a worrywart.
Such cowardly malice. Hasn't he had enough?
If the cage never stops shrinking, then...
What's with all the smoke and shaking? What's happening here?
And this is Sai with Baby 5 looking on.
Hurry up, Luffy! You gotta whoop Doflamingo! It's our only option!
Yes, I see. Indeed. What cruel fate. The lives of the entire country is on Sir Luffy's shoulders. Do it for us, goes Kinemon. I will not spare a single soul. There is no benefit to me in saving the lives of those who know this country's secret. Not the towns, not the people, not the animals, not your friends, and certainly not you. This means that your friends there died. Your friends there died a bit before you did. He liked to call you Straw Hat, didn't he? No worries, though. I can build another country. But this will all be settled. Once I crush you, Mingo! Gum! I thought I was just explaining how you couldn't. Shambles.
And Law is in front of Doflamingo because he's fully alive, and he has like this beam, this shimmering, electrifying looking beam in his hands, in his available hand, as he's right in front of Doflamingo.
Law! You're the one who's disappearing, Doflamingo.
As Luffy falls forward, and he goes, "Go!"
This operation will destroy your body from the inside. Gamma knife!
And this really does hurt Doflamingo as he's shouting with blood shooting from his face.
How are you still alive? How can you do an up attack without room deployed?
We are within my room. It'll cut down on my life a bit, but I've had a room in action so large you can't actually see the border.
I love it. This man had a room so large that no one could tell it was even up.
What?
All for this moment, this strike. He missed the sure kill. Shambles.
And then Law trades places with an already unconscious Don Quixote family soldier, and the body that Doflamingo ends up shooting up is actually one of his own men, but he doesn't realize it.
Sorry, body double. I'll set you back when he's done.
And this is a flashback of what happened beforehand.
Hey, Traffy! How dare you!
Wait, I'm alive. Listen closely, Straw Hat. Huh? Don't turn around. I have a plan.
There's no defense from within your body. As Law is stabbing into Doflamingo, and so much blood is erupting from Doflamingo's mouth.
Even you can't withstand the effects of this attack!
And it's so forceful that it causes smoke to emanate from both Doflamingo's torso and his mouth.
Doofy! A king never falls to his knees!
And then Doflamingo grabs Law's face.
You've really done it now. It's no use. Even if you kill me, there's no saving you now.
Law! Gum! Jet stamp! And before Doflamingo can do anything to Law, Luffy hits him with a jet stamp.
Doofy!
And Doflamingo is sent flying into the distance, laying on his back.
I'll get you!
Wait, Straw Hat. He's mine.
Hang on! You can still move?
And then Law gets up and he walks over to Doflamingo.
Room.
And a small room that's big enough for Doflamingo and Law is right there, encompassing the both of them.
Doflamingo, there's no saving you now. The gamma knife ruptures organs without any external wounds. Take my word for it. I'm a doctor.
Law! What have you done to Doofy?
And Treble tries to launch over at Law, but Luffy just kicks him in the side and knocks him away.
Stay out of this!
And then Luffy just looks at Law, and Law's arm is still dripping blood.
You brought together people you could use and call them a family. And when your own brother Korra tried to stop your madness, you killed him. Yeah, it was such a shame that he betrayed me. Never thought he could turn a gun on me. But you knew that Korra would never be able to pull the trigger. But I could have. I bet you could. You and me are like our birds of a feather. In this one case, I'm fine with that. You were the one who should have died that day. Shall I say what you're hoping to hear, Law? Cortisone was an obstacle and an eyesore to me. In fact, I'm glad I killed Counter Shock!
And before Doflamingo can say anything, Law interrupts him by using a full-fledged counter shock that Doflamingo cannot dodge. You don't speak ill of Korra in front of while your back is on the ground and you're at the mercy of a man who could literally rip your insides apart.
Grah! Die, you devil!
Doofy!
And after using this, Law feels the effects of, everything that's happened to him as he coughs up a little blood and then he falls to his back. And then Luffy's just standing there. But then Doflamingo gets right back up again. He gets right back up. Huh? That's a king!
With enough time, I can perform emergency care on myself. Beneath the skin, my strings are rapidly reconnecting my organs. What? It's all in how you use your powers. Not quite the same thing as healing, but thanks for self-destructing anyway. Now I can stamp you out for good.
Darn it! And before Doflamingo can step all over Law and crush his head, his foot is intercepted by Luffy. And Luffy's just standing there looking at him. When I tell you this scene, when I first read this, it was all like, oh really? Oh really? Oh really? Oh really? When I saw this scene in the anime and the music stopped when it happened, I was just thinking, oh, it's about to go down.
Dang it.
And Doflamingo's looking down at Luffy, who's looking straight up at him. And that's the end of chapter 781. Onwards to 782, Champion of Evil. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 26. Time for a party! And Waratsumi and the Sea Beast and all the townsfolk in the nearby port town are all having fun and just having a party with the Sea Beast and Waratsumi. They're just enjoying themselves.
Why did you stop me? I was going to split Law's skull. That's all!
And as he tries to squash Law's head again, Doflamingo uses Haki, but also Luffy uses Haki, and there's a clash of Haki at the top of the plateau that can be felt all over the entire plateau. You don't know what's going on, but you're here. Dunkin' Donuts! Well, firstly, I am reading volume 78 of One Piece. I've been doing this. I've been reading every volume of One Piece since May, and this is my final week of me reading every single chapter of One Piece up until when I first started doing reactions. So what we're reading through here is volume 78, and we're currently on chapter 782. And Exile Mukama, Exile. Exile. I've been subscribed since 2019. Wow, you've been here a while. And this is my first time seeing you live. Love your work. Thank you. I hope you say you love my work. It always shocks me when people say that they've been on my channel before and they like what I do. It means that, hey, I'm doing something right. So thank you. I greatly appreciate it. But there's a clash of Haki between Luffy and Doflamingo. Blah! A collision of Supreme King Haki! Does he have that too? And it's basically a Conqueror's Haki clash between Doflamingo and Luffy, as Law gets kind of tossed to the side, because whenever Conqueror's Haki users clash, there's usually like a resounding shockwave that happens.
Straw Hat, I should have known.
And Treble is thinking back to when he first met Doflamingo. And everyone passed out? Yep, that's Haki, eh? Color of the Supreme King Haki. It's a sign that you have the quality of a king. Doflamingo, you were chosen by the heavens! A real man tests himself. Do you desire to kill anyone? I will give you the power of vengeance. As it shows that Treble is the one that not only gave the string fruit to Doflamingo, but also the very same pistol he would later kill his own father with. And also, it's the same pistol he would keep throughout the rest of his life, and the same one he would use to kill Rocinante with, too.
People I want to kill? There are loads of them!
Oh yeah, but I am caught up on the series of One Piece, though. I am fully caught up on the series of One Piece. It's just that I never read One Piece from the very beginning, all the way up until when I first started reading One Piece. So I figured just do a series where I read every single volume, so I can have the entirety of One Piece on the channel. So yeah. But yeah.
People I want to kill? There are loads of them!
But you ain't gonna match up to him. Dolphy's different. He's on another level. His birth infused him with madness. His fate brought him rage. These things solidified him as a demon.
And it shows Luffy still clashing with Doflamingo, and they're just using Haki in all of their abilities, all of their punches and their kicks and their dodges and everything. They're using Haki against each other. It's just, these 2 pages are just a big old montage of blocks and hits from Doflamingo and Luffy. And Luffy manages to land a solid hit on Doflamingo's face multiple times. Gum Gum! Eagle! Bazooka! And he launches Doflamingo back, but Doflamingo is right back up again. Athlete! As several layers of strings are on Doflamingo's foot, and he kicks Luffy with it, which not only cuts Luffy, but sends him careening over into the other section of the castle. And as he tries to get up, sticky stuff goes all over Luffy. Gah! What is this stuff?
You fool! Don't start thinking you actually stand a chance of winning! Here we go, Dolphy! I got him stuck!
Dang it, let me go! As Treble is sitting right there with Luffy stuck on him so that Doflamingo can get a free hit in.
Crush Law's head while you've got the chance!
Hey, don't do it, Mingo! Fight me! Traffy can't even move an inch! This guy's so goopy!
No, I'm sticky!
And then Luffy starts punching all over Treble's body.
You're wasting your time!
Huh? What the heck? If he's a Logia, my armament Haki should have hit him!
Am I a Logia? But that won't work on me. It's pointless, rubber brains. He's right, Straw Hat. It's pointless. He's all for show. Don't waste your time on him.
And this is law.
The biggest reason I didn't want to sit on the Heart Throne was being associated with these idiots.
So your mouth still works.
Why won't you die already? Stick 'em launcher! The Supreme Officers are the cornerstones of the family! You have no right to humiliate us!
And Treble is launching multiple globules all over the area. Multiple sticky globs all over. Stop it! I told you Traffy can't move!
Move it, Dolphy! I'm gonna teach that brat a lesson! Listen up, Law! Dolphy is the king and absolute ruler at all times! However, between the current Supreme Officers and him, there is no hierarchy or distinction. Know why? Because one day, 30 years ago, the 4 of us stumbled across his limitless talent from heaven, and we gave him power. We raised him and shaped him into the champion of evil he is today.
And we see Doflamingo. When apparently he's right there in front of Virgo, Pika, Diamante, and Treble in the past. You were nearly killed in Sacred Marijois, even though you brought them your father's head? It's a miracle you came back alive then. This also kind of speaks how legendary it is for Doflamingo to make his way on his own all the way back to Marijois. All the way to Marijois. Not just the Red Line, but Marijois itself, in an attempt to get back into the fold. Not many commoners are able to do that.
Dolphy! You have the quality of a king!
And this is Diamante in the past. Dolphy, we support you in everything that you do. And this is Virgo when he was younger. Pika, obviously, doesn't say anything.
Because you have this squeaky little voice.
In exchange, show us our dreams! How'd you get hurt?
Some thug beat me up. He ought to die.
Say no more!
And then Treble goes out and kills the guy.
I tripped and fell because the roads was bad.
The road, huh? What town was it?
And Diamante and company set fire to an entire town because the road was uneven for Doflamingo.
Listen, Dolphy, you are king,
No one can defy your will. And one day, you will be king of this entire sea! As all of his 4 most trusted officers bow before him when he was like a kid. And then we cut back to the present again. We raised Tofi into a king and impressed his dignity upon the henchmen. But the 5 of us have cared for and upheld the family honor just like a real family would. My stick is flammable, remember?
You're the only one who really thinks that, Treble.
Yeah?
Even as a so-called chief of staff, you look like nothing more than Doflamingo's clownish puppet to me.
Clownish puppet?
No, don't get sucked in, Treble. Law's deploying his room.
Nonsense! He's on the verge of death, and I already got him stick stuck! He can't do a thing! So, the very thing he tried to warn Doflamingo about earlier, he's already fallen for. Now open wide! I'm gonna skewer you right through the throat, eh?
I'm a captain too. I won't have much dignity if I have to leave both of you to Straw Hat.
Tact! And he lifts his finger. His arm! And it stabs directly into Treble.
Sturban Blade!
And using his own arm, Law has his arm attached to his sword, and he sends it directly into Treble, and he then causes that blade to spin in place and up Treble's body. As Treble gets split right down the middle. Huh? Treffy got him to bleed with the sword! Flower field, 4th step. We got the tontadas with Leo, with Kyros.
What is the matter, Leo?
Huh?
Smile factory.
What's wrong, little guys? Why are you all turning towards the town?
And this is Frankie with the tontadas.
We don't know. I just felt a weight lifting from my chest.
Don't lift that, lift your feet. We're done busting the factory, so let's get away before the birdcage closes in on us.
Yes, sir, Fraulein!
The palace. Ah! A real scrawny guy popped out! No wonder my punches just passed right through him. And we see that Treble's real body is one of a very emancipated looking type state. His whole body just looks the exact opposite of how his body actually looked.
You clown.
Darn you, Law! Reminds you of Plasmus from Teen Titans? To a degree. The only difference is Plasma's body was always goopy all the time. And I know that's the same with Treble, but it's to hide his real appearance. Darn you, Law! As he tries to set fire to the mucus that covers Law completely.
Crap, he's gonna light it!
I'll take you down with me! And then there's a big explosion at the top of the royal palace. That's the end of chapter 782. I gotta hurry up. I've been monologuing a little bit too much. I gotta hurry up. But before we get to chapter 783, since we're done with 782, we got an SBS. Does Buffalo style that crazy hairstyle himself every morning? Sign number 73. Answer, it's a cowlick. So the hairstyle of Buffalo is a cowlick. He has multiple cowlicks? Question, the boy named Dre working in the Pirate Barrel's crew is actually Diaz Drake of the Drake's Pirates, right? I figured it out from the X pronounced Diaz name, the scar on his chin, and their home in the North Blue. Does that mean Barrels is Drake's father? Sign, Kazuki from Hyogo. Answer, that's right. Well spotted. Diaz Drake is one of the worst generation pirates who are stirring up the world alongside Luffy. His father, Barrels, was a naval officer, and he grew up idolizing his pops and dreaming of being in the Navy. But something happened and Barrels went pirate, turning into a terrible man who abused his son. At this time, 13 and a half years ago, Drake was 19 and still following along because he believed in the father he remembered from his youth. He's a bit too big to be considered a boy, but he looks younger than he is because he's so intimidated by his father. Through his fateful accidental near miss with law, he ends up being taken in by the Navy and he becomes a sailor. But through some quirk of fate, Drake moves up the ranks to an officer and then leaves to become a pirate, just like his father. What happened to him? What is he thinking? What's the big deal, mister? After his appearance on the cover page story, it really makes you curious what Diaz Drake is going to do next. Also, Zebiniso, welcome. I cannot understand a single thing that you're saying, but I hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. Chapter 783, In My Way. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 27. I want to go with you. And this is Wadatsumi who wants to travel with Jinbei. And then we have the explosion at the top of the Royal Plateau, with Luffy and Doflamingo getting away from the epicenter.
Huge flames are erupting from the palace. Luffy, Doflamingo.
And this is Robin.
Luffy land. Is he alright? We should help somehow.
No, I feel it would be better not to interfere.
Yes, to be honest, we'd only get in the way. Look, even the man with the same 7 warlords title as Doflamingo, Trafalgar Law, is in that terrible state.
And it shows that Luffy managed to get his hands on Law.
Luffy, send Traffy down here. Robin! Thanks a lot. Traffy's already done his part. To put pressure on Mingo. Oh no, his arm. Spider net.
And then Robin catches Law. While Luffy prepares to go right back up to contend with Doflamingo.
Nico Robin, none of your meddling. He's still alive and breathing. I'm not done with him. Doflamingo!
As Kyoto sees him.
Bullet string!
Hawk whip! And Luffy hits Doflamingo. And as he hits him, the bullet strings go sailing towards Robin, who covers Law. Precious metal axe! As Cavendish comes in and he blocks all the shots.
Cabbage!
I fell asleep, and you still haven't finished this fight, Straw Hat? Cabbage! Escort everyone down from here! Nonsense! Now that Doflamingo has seen me, I must cross blades with him. I need you to take care of them!
Needs me? Trust. Magnetism. Popularity. Straw Hat is my fan. Gah! I cannot turn down a request from a fan!
How did he get that? How did he get that? How did he get that from what Luffy just said?
Bartolomeo's on the lower level. Use his power to descend at once.
Is there anything you can do, Leo?
His wounds are all torn up. If I can just sew them together, then I can heal it with my watering can.
Goes Mancherry and Leo.
At any rate, we should do as Lucy says and head downward.
Hey, Bartolomeo! Use your barrier to make stairs! Are you even listening?
Mr. Zoro!
Bartolomeo is still hung up on Zoro destroying Pika. But we have the citizens who are running from the strings as they start to close in. And Doflamingo's floating in the air while Luffy's ready to fight him.
Enough of this nonsense, Straw Hat. Law's suffering in his last moments of life. We should put him to rest.
If that's what you want, you have to beat me first!
It seems to me like you've already taken heavy damage.
Same goes for you. Traffy gave you everything he had. And then Luffy thinks back to when Luffy starts running towards Doflamingo. And it shows his fist directly in front of Doflamingo, and he hits where Doflamingo's supposed to be. I know you can feel it!
Your attacks might be fast, but there's no weight behind them. Overheat!
And he uses his overheat string to try and hit Luffy and winds up slicing more of the palace in the process. Whoa! Ah!
This really takes me back.
And we have a flashback of Doflamingo talking to Treble.
Crocodile got taken out by a Navy HQ captain. Lies!
Lie! By Navy... Crocodile got taken out by Navy HQ captain?
Lies. There must be more to the story. Look, he's the one. His bounty just jumped up. Investigate this crew. I don't recognize the name. Monkey D.
And then we cut to the present.
And then you fell out of the sky into the Paramount War and survived. Now you've come this far.
As Doflamingo kicks away Luffy. And Luffy falls through the palace, but then he latches onto a piece of the building and goes right back up again.
Wait.
Huh? You're awake, Trafalgar? As Cavendish is prepared to take away Law.
Put me down and go.
Huh? What are you saying?
I've lived the past 13 years so I could strike Doflamingo down. I've done everything I can. The rest is in Straw Hat's hands. If he's going to win, then I want to watch it from here. If he's going to lose here anyway, then I ought to be killed along with him. I'm the one who got him involved in this fight. So leave me here.
And Cavendish is just looking at him.
Traffy, the captains in an alliance stand on equal ground. Luffy is here of his own will. He doesn't participate in a fight unless he wants to.
Leave me, please.
I suppose I can't convince you otherwise. Nico Robin, go ahead.
Cabbage.
I cannot allow you to commit suicide. I will stay. That's the compromise. If you die today, it will be after me. So Cavendish just sits with Law.
Robin, I think Bartolomeo made the stairs.
Miss Robin!
Take this and go.
Huh?
Oh. As Cavendish gives Robin his coat so she can cover her back of the scars she's, still hiding from Rebecca so no one knows what she went through. And then both Leo and Mancherry nod to each other and they go as well. Come, Grizzly Magnum! And he tries to hit Doflamingo, but Doflamingo dodges.
You're wide open.
And he proceeds to kick away Luffy in an instant.
You're not going to let Law's attacks go to waste. And when exactly were you going to beat me? The 1 hour limit is the amount of time the birdcage closes entirely. Some of them are hobbled. There are bedridden elderly, even suckling babes. Who will be the first victim? Within 30 minutes, the dead will begin to mount somewhere or another. After 40 minutes, you'll be able to hear the screams from here. By the 50-minute mark, the land will be as red as a flattened tomato. And an hour from now, there will be no more voices. While I'm sure the fate of Dressrosa means nothing to you. The dead will curse you as they leave the mortal coil. If only you hadn't come here, Dressrosa would still have been at peace.
You liar! It's all a sham! And then we cut back to the imprisoned gladiators under the Colosseum.
The light and darkness here are polar extremes. All the toys
in this kingdom were originally human.
There are unlucky souls in every country. There'd be no end if you decided to save them all. Does the passing pirate fancy himself a hero now? Stop getting in my way!
No, you're the one in my way!
You made my friends cry, and you made my friends mad, and you still won't go down, so I'm taking it all on myself. I won't let any of them die. You and your cage are in my way.
As Luffy puts up his hand in front of his face, and he goes,
Gear 4!
And that's the end of chapter 783. Onwards to chapter 784,
Gear 4.
And we cut the civilians.
Run! Run to the center of town!
As we have both Navy and even pirates who are joining, saving people to get to the center of Dressrosa.
All the buildings too tough to cut through are being pushed towards the center by the shrinking cage. Our country is getting smaller and smaller!
Palace Plateau.
The bird cage is shrinking, so that's what the panic is about.
That's the true terror of the birdcage. Honey?
This is an emergency. Wake up everyone who's fallen.
This is Baby 5 to Sai.
I'm not gonna sit around and wait for death without a fight. All right,
goes Orlumbus, Elisabello, and Don Chinjao. Pardon me. Former Royal Plateau.
Even this plateau will be cut to pieces if the fight is drawn out.
Shouldn't this be the safest place? It's the center of the kingdom.
Wait, shouldn't this be the safest place? It's the center of the kingdom.
Look above us. The center of the cage is slowly shifting. The center of the compression must be over the palace, where Doflamingo is now. Even eventually, even our location will be destroyed.
Ah! Hurry, Hack!
Sir Zorro, can you tell me just where we are heading?
It's obvious. We're gonna stop that thing.
What?
Flower field outside the palace.
Little people, now I've seen everything. I hope that your arm can reconnect. If the blood flows again, it'll recover soon, they said.
Yeah, I know. I'm a doctor.
As apparently Leo has stitched together Law's arm back again.
I had an epiphany when I saw the underground trading port. Even if Doflamingo is vanquished in this battle, great waves will spread throughout the world. You people will be the eye of the storm.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And then we get back to the surface.
Gear 4.
As Luffy's arm starts to hockey up. And then Luffy kicks off his sandals. And then while his arm is hockeyed up, he starts blowing into his arm.
Muscle balloon!
And then as Luffy is blowing into his arm, his body gets bigger and bigger. And the hockey that's over his body starts to spread over his body even further. And Luffy's hand is now enlarged. His chest is now enlarged. He's breathing out smoke from his mouth. And he starts bouncing in place.
Well, you're certainly larger now.
Gear 4! Gear 4! Bounce Man!
This is the shirt that I was hiding the entire time. And Luffy's body has changed as he's entered into a new gear state, where both his arms and legs have been completely covered in hockey. And the end pattern and the ends of the hockey that are on his arms and legs end in flame-like patterns across his body and back. And his hair is now flared up a little bit, and he has dark circles under his eyes. Kind of reminiscent to Nightmare Luffy to a degree.
Gear 4! Bounce Man!
What kind of joke is this? Take it
What kind of joke is this?
Take it seriously. I thought you actually had some plan up your sleeve.
It is a plan up my sleeve, and I am serious.
The rubber's elasticity means you can't even stand properly anymore.
For 2 whole years, I fought wild animals who were as large as monsters. In order to overpower them, I needed both size and resiliency.
And what will resiliency give you?
Just shut up! You won't even have the chance to strike back.
As Luffy starts to pull his own hand in on itself. Show it again, you didn't see it?
Gear 4!
This is the shirt that I was wearing, but I kept it hidden until this very moment. The shirt says Gear 4th Training Gym.
Just shut up!
You won't even have the chance to strike back. As Luffy's hand it starts to pull into itself, starts to recoil in on itself. Come! And he launches at Doflamingo with barely no moment for him to dodge. And then Luffy's hand goes completely into his own arm. Kong! And he hits Doflamingo, who tries to hockey up, but he still gets sent flying. Gone! And Luffy punches Doflamingo all the way from the Royal Plateau back into the center of town. And he's sent flying a great distance, coughing up blood, and and he goes skidding into a building. Why, that's Doflamingo. What happened? He just fell out of the sky.
Doflamingo! What are you doing here? Doflamingo, what are you doing here?
That's what I want to know.
As it shows that Doflamingo is all the way in town, and Luffy sent him flying into the distance. And Doflamingo has lost that smile. It's gone now. And all the townspeople start running away from Doflamingo.
Ah! Run away! He's going to kill us! There's nowhere to run. We're surrounded by the birdcage.
The center of town. He really threw me quite a ways.
And then Doflamingo is looking at a distance as he sees something flying towards him. And to his utter surprise, it's Luffy who's flying.
He can use his springiness to fly?
As Luffy is basically turning his legs into his very own jet boosters. He's kicking off so hard with his stretchiness for his legs that he's capable of flight. So now Doflamingo no longer has the airborne advantage. And then and Luffy disappears from his sight. And Doflamingo's confused as Luffy comes in right next to Doflamingo and hits him with, Come! Rhino Schneider! And with both of his feet, he hits Doflamingo in the side of the head without Doflamingo being able to react to it. Doflamingo tried to use Haki in that instant, but it wasn't enough. He gets sent flying into another building. Here comes somebody else!
He's huge, and he just kicked the heck out of Doflamingo.
But Luffy keeps bouncing around on the ground.
Who is that guy bouncing around like a ball?
And Doflamingo is once again seen coughing up blood as he keeps skidding through another section of town.
How dare that ball boy! He's only made of rubber! He's hardening his skin with armament Haki and using the tensile force to raise his power several times beyond its limit.
As Doflamingo starts flying into the air.
Come!
Culverine! And Luffy tries to hit Doflamingo, but Doflamingo dodges out of the way. And tries to hit him with Athlete! And he kicks Luffy in the side. But we zoom in to Luffy, and it shows that Doflamingo is not able to actually harm Luffy right now with him, and he's using Athlete along with armament Haki, but the attack won't even go into Luffy because his body is still rubbery.
Even with armament, he's still rubber?
No guard!
Keep chasing him, Python! And the fist of Luffy, which he shot beforehand, it's still going after Doflamingo.
Why? This time, he's not shrinking!
And the fist of Luffy chases after Doflamingo, and it hits him with Culverin! And Doflamingo gets hit directly in the face. Wait. Oh, snap. Wow. I might actually beat a record. I might actually get this done before 2 hours is up. Because we're on the last chapter. That's the end of chapter 784. Onwards to chapter 785. But first, the last SBS of this volume. Answer. Well, everyone, in the last volume, I introduced an old submission to the Japanese fan art section, which was sent in by Mr. Horikoshi, who has grown up to draw My Hero Academia for Shonen Jump. This time, I got a report that one Nozomi Mori, whose fan art recently graced volume 74, has just made a professional debut with a one-shot under the name Keidai Himuro in the page of Monthly Afternoon. This is totally unrelated to Jump, however. Anyways, congrats! I hope you get serialized and make a great name for yourself in the sea of manga. Good luck! Question. I was watching TV the other day and learned that the real-life Japanese Navy, when it is out at sea, always serves curry on Fridays to maintain a sense of the days of the week. Does the Navy in One Piece have curry too? If that's the case, is Rika's curry super sweet? Signed, Kagamin. Answer. Yes, the Navy's curry is quite famous. The Navy in One Piece employs the same custom. Since it serves a purpose of providing extra nutrients that one day a week, I heard that it's a delicious curry packed full of fresh seafood. Sounds good enough to me. It seems that the sweeter curry served at Rika's naval branch is quite popular. Well, that's it for this installment of the SBS. See you next volume. Chapter 785 on Broken Legs. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, final volume, setting off with a new kimono and some gifts. And Jinbei and Wadatsumi bid goodbye to the citizens of this port town, along with the sea beasts. And the next page we get is Doflamingo getting decked completely in the face by Luffy's culverin, bloodied in the face everywhere. Doflamingo's being totally overpowered by a rubber ball!
Who is that guy?
Well, whoever you are, keep going! Flowerfield, Palace Plateau. Cavendish is watching all of this. What a transformation! Did you see that? Is that really Straw Hat? He's unbelievable! So he still had a secret up his sleeve. But he's using too much hockey. And then we have another individual higher up on the plateau who's watching this all go down.
Whee! What's this? They found a new place to play, huh? So do I follow or wait here?
And this is Burgess, as Koala is silently watching from a distance.
It really is Jesus Burgess. He's been after Luffy's group. But what does he want?
Corrida Coliseum.
Viola! All that's left is a final fight between Luffy and him, yes?
Oh wait,
Viola, all that's left is the final fight between Luffy and him, yes?
That's right, Father. Doflamingo's the only principal figure left standing for the enemy.
Smile Factory.
Get out of the factory, 10-ton Tatas! We've destroyed enough of the internal systems. Evacuate the building now!
The factory is moving!
The outer walls of the factory are sea prism stone, so they'll stand strong against its devil fruit strings. But look, it's just pushing the building instead. What's that? Hey, Zoro, Kinemon, the center of the island's east. You're running the wrong way.
Hey! Zoro Land!
Frankie? Sir Robot. I'm gonna stop the strings. It might buy us some time.
What? That's so cool!
Stop them? I never considered that idea. Oh, right.
Town Center. Luffy versus Doflamingo. And Doflamingo's just laying in a heap.
He controls its rubber elasticity even in an armament hockey state. A melding of armament and rubber.
If I don't hurry, my Gear 4 will run out of time. Come, double!
So it seems you know how to use your abilities, but at considerable costs. How many seconds can you last? You must have risks to balance.
Culverin! Off-white! And then a big mass of strings just erupt from the ground and they completely block Luffy. Why did those strings just pop out of the ground?
Listen closely, boy. There is another stage entirely to the powers of a devil fruit. Awakening.
And then all of the buildings around Luffy start to turn and change. Whoa! The buildings turn to string!
It's very rare, but some powers can awaken and affect objects aside from the wielder.
Everything's turning into string! It's almost like he isn't a paramecia! After 20 minutes.
Watch out! It cuts!
So Doflamingo has basically awakened his own devil fruit that allows the entire environment around him to be used as strings to attack Luffy. And he does that by turning multiple buildings into string spears for that to happen.
Grandma! Stand up, Grandma! The strings will get you! I can't. I can't run anymore. You go on. You go on ahead. Leave me behind. No! I can't do that! I won't make it either way. There's no way for me to run all the way to the center of town.
Someone lend me a hand! There are still patients in the hospital! We can't move them all! Someone please help!
Please, has anyone seen my son? He's only 5, and he's wearing a bear shirt, please!
We're all gonna die anyway. Time to give in.
No matter where we run, we're still in the cage. Doflamingo's gonna kill us in the end!
And then we have someone who gets on a Denden Mushi, on a transponder snail.
Listen to me, everyone. I am the former King of Dressrosa, Riku Doldo III.
That's King Riku!
I will now explain what is happening to our land. Due to a game that the present King Doflamingo enacted, the nation is surrounded by a giant inescapable birdcage. The vicious power of this cage is slicing through the town as it shrinks down further and further.
King Riku!
No doubt, the suddenness of the situation has left you unable to process anything, except for the mad rush to protect your own lives. But I assure you, this is not a dream. And this is not a tragedy that began today. For the past 10 years, we have been ruled over by a pirate, trapped in the midst of the birdcage called Dressrosa. For those 10 years, we have been puppets on his strings. This is our reality, but very soon it will be over. The seemingly invincible Don Quixote family, through the work of the mighty warriors gathered in our land, are nearly vanquished. All of the family's officers are defeated. The only foe left to topple is Don Quixote Doflamingo, the current king of Dressrosa.
And it shows Luffy still going up against Doflamingo.
Battling him now is the pirate Strawhead Luffy. I have no doubt that he will destroy this birdcage, but whether he wins or loses, it will only be a matter of minutes. So I beg of you, do what you can to survive. Ensure that not a single person is crushed by this shrinking country. Just keep running, on empty lungs, on broken legs.
Just a few more minutes.
Find a way to survive! There is still hope, so do not give up!
All right. Time to run, little missy!
And the grandma that we saw earlier starts running full-fledged in front of her granddaughter, and her granddaughter gets like an ugly face and goes like,
Okay, I'm coming, Grandma!
Do what King Riku says! Run to the center of town!
carry the injured!
Just until the finish! Just last until the finish!
And we see more buildings being turned into string as the fight between Luffy and Doflamingo continue.
Time for you to die now. Pillow White!
Ah! The town's full of strings!
And Luffy dodges them all, and Luffy goes, no time left! And he pulls his own head into his shoulders.
Out of my way!
As he creates a hole to get to Doflamingo.
This is the end! Come! Leo Bazooka!
And Luffy, with a move akin to that of a Kame Blast, sends Doflamingo careening through the air into the palace plateau, and he's embedded in the wall, much to the excitement of every single person there. Ladies and gentlemen, to be continued. This is the end of volume 78, and I managed to finish reading everything in under 2 hours. Let's go! We are on the last 5 days of me reading through the rest of this series, and then I can bring this entire series to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor and a privilege to be your entertainer for this, I want to say 2 hours, because it's going to be 2 hours when I finish. For these 2 hours, I just want to say to every person who stopped by, from Zeminiso all the way over to Exil to Dunkin' Donuts as well, every new person that showed up today, thank you. Thank you for just stopping by. It means the world to me. All I can say to everyone right now, as we prepare to bring this entire series to a close this week, is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!